Okay, got a trade on right now. This is live CAD yen. And then what has happened is, let me zoom out to the 15. This is a support resistance trade. So right here, we've got a clean, clear, crisp area that is a break. Okay, and a potential retest right here. So price broke up, found this level of support. And here's what I want you to cue into is the price action that's going on right here. The first time when price finds its bottom and it has its push away and it has a break of structure, that's the first time that we'd have this level mapped in, right? So it has a good move away. Then it trickles back, testing this as potential support, has a smaller move away, okay? Is not really breaking a whole lot. It does put in this wick action here, and then it does have some closes above previous structure, but not a dramatic move or anything like that. But it does push above. It does have a move away. Then, as it comes back for another test of potential support from this same level, we just see an even smaller move. So biggest, middle, and then smallest. So what we can surmise from this is that price is losing its momentum, okay? It doesn't mean that it can't have a big move away, but it's just what it's telling us right now is it's just kind of not really happening. And so then it makes sense that it would have this break, right? So it has this break, pulls back, and now it has tested this. And all we've done right here is take the fibs, draw them from the top to the bottom, and then let the pullback do its thing. This area lines up very well with 618 for layering some confluence on there. Then dropping down to the 1 minute, this is really interesting. Okay, here we've got the 200. We pop the 200 on, and it's running just right above price. It's not running through the candlestick action, the pattern that we've gotten in on, but it is just right there lining up with the 618, lining up with the area of potential resistance. Okay, and also look how close it is to price. It's very, very close. It's not like way up here, it's not way down there. And so this leads me to believe that this is kind of acting potentially as an area of resistance. So if we zoom in here, you can see the entry a little bit better. Price comes up, has its touch, has a little pull, kind of a consolidation, then gives an engulfing. But this is really where I'm seeing the double top action. I'm not seeing where price touches right here, pulls down a little bit, and then has this move as the double top, as much as I am this. You could take it as that if you wanted to, but what my eyes seeing is price comes up, a little bit of consolidation, has a pull down, and then pushes back up and gives a really nice looking engulfing candlestick pattern as a second point of valid entry on this double top. So that's what I'm seeing. 3 pip stop loss. And see, this is a 1 to 3.9, but when you have a 3 pip stop loss, look at this. You only need 12 pips to basically end the whole trade. So price does not have to move that far. As far as the target, we could definitely target more if price is going to continue to move downward and follow through with momentum on this move. We could target to the very low of the recent 15-minute right here. We could target the top of this potential order block right here if it finds momentum off of this. Or we could just go kind of somewhere in between here. Let's go to the 1 minute. This area is kind of in between, one of the recent 1 minute lows and the 15-minute low. But again, this is all based off if price continues to move down. Here's the MT4. The spread is a little high, I feel, right now on CAD yen. It's just kind of really popping up there. So we'll just kind of see what happens. Stop loss is in a good place, but if it does push to this level right at the very top, I could see getting taken out. So we will see how it plays out. Okay, prices started to break away just a little bit. Nothing really means we're in the clear. Nothing means like, hey, everything's good. But the more structure we can see broken is a good indication that the momentum is being carried to the downside. So we have got, so we had this structure here, a little bit of structure. Then we've got this structure right here. And then we've got this area. The way that I look at all structure is just through the lens of there's a little bit of structure, there's more structure. Oh, there's even more structure. So we will see what happens as price moves. I want to say as it moves further, but we don't know if it's going to move further. All we know is that price has told us 2 times. Okay, it's not only told us once, hey, listen, I'm not going higher. Okay, I was trucking there like a train, about ready to fly off the tracks, and then I put in some consolidation, made up my mind, I'm going down. For how long, how far, we have no idea. But then it came back up and it tried again a second time and was rejected. Okay, so again, we don't know how far it's going to go down, and we don't know for how long, but we know that in this moment, price told us, hey, I'm heading to the downside. So when we have our key area, when we have our candlestick pattern, then what is our job at that point? Our job is to assess the quality, because we've got the key area, we've got the validation pattern. So we're just assessing the quality of the trade. Hey, do I want to take this trade? Look at the confluences that are laid over this trade. And again, don't get hung up on confluences to the point where if you have more confluences in your favor, then all of a sudden, the trade is going to win or something like that. It just doesn't work like that. They're just used as an indication. It just kind of gives you an extra little boost, like, hey, I'm in the right area here. Who knows if the trade's going to work out, but we're in the right area. So we've got the 618, we've got the 200. And the funny thing is, you can have none of these things and the trade can work out, or you can have all of these things and the trade doesn't work out. We don't have control over what the market does. We only have control of quality control. So our job is to now go, okay, we've got everything in place. Now, do we want to take this trade? Okay, are we willing to put our money down on this trade? That is the question that you have to ask yourself. So let's take off the 200. Let's put on the 14 and the 50 and see what's going on here, because we were starting to get across there. But again, this is only going to follow what price is doing. So if this continues to go down, then we'll eventually see a cross happen. If it pushes up, then we'll see what was looking like it was going to cross turn into something totally different. Just more of this, wide open thing right here. See here, red on the bottom, blue on the top. That's what that would turn into. And the blue is the 14. The 14 is the blue. Okay, so we'll see what happens as it comes up into the entry point. And we'll see how it turns out. Okay, so with this on CAD Yen, the spread is a little bit erratic right now. I mean, it's really sitting around like this area right now, which I feel is a little bit high. So, even though I have a really nice stop loss on this, it's already taken out. This is spread right here, this blue box that I'm showing you. So I said I'm going to give it this candle right here. This is the candle. And then depending on how that candle closes, which, well, I guess it's just closed, then I was either going to close the trade or wait. And so based off the close of that candle, I'm going to go ahead and wait with the trade. But it's just to give you kind of an indication, like when price comes up here, okay, and we have a big spread that's going on. We've got like a pip and a half, not a super big spread or anything like that, but more than I was anticipating on, then spread is way up here, and it's pretty close. There's a move. it's pretty close to stop loss territory, to stop out territory. So I just want to make sure that I have a fighting chance in this trade, and that's why I was kind of like, okay, and I need to assess. And here's one thing that I want to point out, that this is a great example of running into something that you didn't anticipate or you didn't see around the corner, or something, that a curveball that you were thrown, and adjusting your plan as you move forward. Okay, because although there are times to say, hey, listen, I'm not touching the trade no matter what, and there's times to do that, when you need to do that, when you're taking off trades early, when you need to train yourself in order to hold trades and practice that, that's a whole different ball game, and that is necessary sometimes. But then other times when you've chosen, hey, I'm going to manage a trade a certain way, and then you just get thrown a curveball, and the curveball this time was the spread. The spread is higher than I thought that it was going to be. It's really edging close to this, and so my stop loss. And so that's when, okay, hey, I need to take a second and I need to make a decision on what I want to do here. And so that decision came in the form of this candle saying, hey, I'm going to give this until the end of this candle. And if this candle closes up like right here or something, or right here, I'm out of the trade. If it shows me weakness, if it shows me downward momentum, if it closes, maybe below the EMAs, in my mind, I was actually thinking if it closes below the EMAs, then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to ride the trade out and make that decision. Now that I've made that decision, I need to be comfortable with the consequences, okay? If I want to be more safe, I can go ahead and throw my stop loss right at break even. Chances of me getting stopped out, though, are pretty high. Price would only need to go to like right here in order to stop me out with that. If I want to ride the trade out and just let it do its thing, then I need to be comfortable with the possibility of a full stop loss. So just make sure you can adjust things, but make sure that you're willing to accept the consequences of adjusting things. All right, I want to see a break of this level right here, because what I've seen price do so far is we've come down, we've had this momentum, we've broken this level. That's great for downside momentum. Then it appears that we've had somewhat of a pullback. Now, we don't really know for sure if this is going to be some sort of consolidation thing that's going to happen and then give lift off, back up there like's happening right now, or if this is going to be well, obviously right now this is not going to be a pullback any longer and a break. Okay, so we just need to see what's going to happen here. So what I was waiting for and what I wanted to see is I wanted to see price have a little pullback like this and then break this level. Okay, that would have shown me, hey, listen, we're just doing our thing. We're just moving in the fashion that price moves when it's on its way. Okay, now we've got this whole thing thrown into the mix where this candle, again, we're not going to do anything until this candle closes. We want to see the close, because you don't even know if this is going to be a rejection wick when it's 10 seconds out. Okay, you've got to give it time. It could, see, look how it kind of went up a little bit more. It used to be more down here. It could find some resistance off of this 50, the 50 EMA. Let's slap the 200 on and see. Okay, so it's right up there. We can pull this level out. So this is where you stick in the trade, ride or die. That's the decision that I have made anyway. This downward momentum is nice. That's really nice downward momentum. It plays into the overall picture of this trade right here. It's rejecting right here, entry candle, and then prices moving down. It made a low price point right here, pulled back up, then made a lower price point right there. So what we're anticipating, if this trade is going to go in our favor, then we're going to see some sort of a pullback. It would have been great if it was to here and then a break, but it's come all the way up here. And if it's going to go in our direction, we're just looking for a break. We're just looking for, okay, retracement is there. Now waiting for a push down. If not, then it looks like it's going to break back above, possibly come and retest this level again, if not potentially break through this level. So this is how price moves. Let's see how this candle closes. Okay, that was a pretty strong engulfing close right there. So that leads me to believe that we have found some form of resistance off of this 50. Again, I'm just going to keep saying it every time I talk about EMAs. Just don't put a whole ton of stock into EMAs. Just use them as a reference. Okay, I'm not sitting here thinking, oh, I'm going to stay in this trade because, just because of this one EMA. No, I'm taking everything into consideration. Most of all, I'm taking into consideration that when this candle happened, that was my deciding candle. That was my, okay, am I staying in this trade or am I getting out? Am I riding it out or am I shutting it down? And for me, that's what this was. Now I can always bring my stop loss to break even. And here's the dilemma with that. If we bring it to break even, we need to be willing to accept that, hey, price can come back to this area right here and spread's going to stop me out before it goes. But also it's more conservative. We're going to protect what we've got. Hey, if it stops us out, oh well. So, that decision needs to be made. And I think I'm going to move it to half. Okay, I'm going to move stop loss to half break even. So at least we can minimize loss. Let's see what we're at there. Right here, we're at like, $80 or something like that. Definitely would have liked to see a break of structure. It did not give us that break of structure right here. So I'm going to go ahead and go to full stop loss on this, just because it didn't give us that break of structure. So at this point, I'm thinking I'm just going to protect what I got. It's hard to say that it's ever wrong to protect what you've actually got and to protect your capital. But that's why we journal, right? We journal so that we can review these trades and we can add up the clues in order to go, you know what? Going a stop loss at 1-to-1 is not benefiting me, or going a stop loss at 1-to-2 is not benefiting me. Like I am leaving so much profit on the table because price will come back and tap right there and then it'll go. Now that's a unique situation. That's not everybody. I'm just throwing that out there as an example. Those are things that we find through our journaling that really, really help us and take our personal trading game to the next level. Because at the end of the day, it's all personal. Like, it's just about becoming the best that you can be personally as a trader, not comparing yourself, not coveting what somebody else has or anything like that, but just doing the best damn job that you can do at the end of the day. And the only results that matter are your results, and then comparing the next week's results or the next month's results with your own results, seeing if those changes are taking effect, seeing if they're making a difference. Okay, so it looks like price has pushed down, but again, it hasn't broken yet. So that's the only thing that I'm looking for right now is just that break. I'm like, okay, well, if we get that break, okay, there we go. We'll see how the candle closes. If we get that break, then that's going to lead us to potentially more downward momentum. And that's all we're looking for right now. That's it. Pop over to the MT4 right here. Okay, so this is a free trade. It doesn't mean that a free trade. See, I think a lot of times a free trade sounds like a trade. Oh, hey, we don't even have to manage it or anything like that. You can certainly manage your trade, okay? Oftentimes a free trade just sounds like we're just going to let it go. But just because you're not going to lose anything on a trade doesn't mean that you can't manage it, that you can't take pieces off. With this trade particularly, I am not planning to take anything off. Okay, if I see that I want to adjust that, or something alerts me on my chart, hey, you might want to take a look at this, then I'll go ahead and I'll do that. But right now, just sitting at the TP. And I think that this is a good level. I don't see any problems with this level whatsoever. This is a potential level of support. Possibly we could see a break and a retest. And it could also possibly come down to this order block. Now, that's all dependent on if it continues with the downward momentum. If it doesn't, then it's a different story. We could be looking at a retest of this level of resistance, potential resistance, or some consolidation just through here. So it looks like we have got a wick, pretty good sized wick right there. I want to see what happens with this candle. We'll just do this so we can see it just a little bit better, a little bit more clear. A little bit more clearly. Okay. So this is actually leading me to believe that there's going to be continued downward momentum. And I don't want to base it just off like, oh, look at this candle and then that candle. Oh, that means we're headed up. No, that's not what it means. Just a little indication. And just kind of keep my thoughts going to you so that you can kind of see what's going through my mind and sort of a thing. Oftentimes, and I have done this on lots of the trading videos that I do, I will just literally walk away and then I'll come back and check it, walk away, come back and check it. I usually don't sit in front of the screen and manage things like this. But the spread was just kind of, wang, 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 wang. And so I chose to. If I saw this, and then we had a green candle following that, then that would be somewhat of a confirmation for some sort of turnaround to happen. So you see the long wick, but nothing was confirmed. There was no bullish candle that closed above it or anything like that to say, hey, we don't know for how long, but we're moving up. Instead, we got this red candle. Now we'll see where this one goes. It could be putting in an engulfing here. And if it does, I don't want to tell you to put like a lot of stock into this, but it could bound off this level. Okay, this isn't like a level that we're going to trade off of or plot in or anything, a 1 minute level like that, but it is something that my eye sees. It is something that, hey, we need to break this level if we're going to continue downward. And that's all we're doing, right? We're just breaking structure, retracing, breaking structure, retrace, break structure. Okay, so we'll come back to the trade and see how it panned out. Okay, with this trade, I've went ahead and I've started trailing my stop a little bit just to start locking in a little bit of profit, because what it's done over here is it's come up and it's had its pullback. So I've let it have the pullback, and now it's put in this candle. And if it turns, I'm not willing to let it go any higher, because right now with spread, even though I'm at break even, well, I was at break even, now we're trailing. At break even, this is going to get stopped out right about here. So I'm not willing to let it push up any further. So at this point, with a pullback, with a retracement right here, you can tell it's gone about 60%. And again, it doesn't have to. I mean, it could come all the way up here, and then continue downward. It could come all the way up here and then continue downward. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm not going to let it get any further without locking in some profit. So that is why I'm trailing. So we'll see what happens. But what I wanted to show you here with this retracement is Yeah, so I mean it's a little bit over 60%, right around that area it's retraced. So at this point in my mind, I'm thinking, you know what? Either this is going to go down and break structure from here, and if it's not, I just don't want to be a part of it. At this point, I there are other trades when yeah, I'm like, you know what? Spread's low enough. I'm fine if it comes back, especially on order block trades where there's like an order block that's left and price may come up and tap it before continuing downward. I'm willing to have more wiggle room with that. Sure, come back up, but with this one, because of the spread, because it's already had its pullback, I want to see break of structure right now. So I'm gonna snuggle this stop loss. Boom. Okay, and we're out of the trade right there. So that's good. We're out of the trade. Sometimes, you know what? When spread is dinking around on you like this and it's just moving weird, it can be kind of an annoying trade. The thing to do is just go ahead and change little things that you're doing. Okay, you may have chosen a management style going into it. Mine was, hey, listen, I'm gonna put on the trade. I'm gonna go to break even when we get some distance, and then it's gonna hit. It's either going to TP or I'm probably getting a stop out, or not a stop out, a break even. Got to the point here where I wasn't comfortable anymore walking away without profit, and the way that the spread kind of acted on me led me to trail my stop. So that's what we did. And if it goes down now, it just doesn't matter. I'm not going to sit in front of the screen and live in the past and be like, oh man, if I just would have waited, if I just would have done this. Stick with, the management decisions. Again, be willing to accept those consequences, and just be happy. Like I'm absolutely happy the way that this worked out.